Hello and welcome to the last box seat episode of January in 2021, previewing Saturday's racing at Ascot, the 30th of January, with the rail in the true position, the track a good for, and the weather conditions sunny and 35 degrees. Race number one, as always, is for the Maidens. These West Speed Maidens, this is for the 4-year-olds and upwards at 1,200 metres. We're going to watch the debut effort of Sishern.
The turn is Stellar Fair into the straight at the 350 midnight hour, joined here on the outside by the newcomer Paddy's Art, which reached it easily. Paddy's Art hit the front a length away, guarded. Then came What About Moi, starting to finish on full of running down the outside. Paddy's Art is the leader. What About Moi is closing it down. What About Moi on the outside dived. What About Moi?
Looks like Liz Stremple has her hands on a pretty handy little maiden galloper here in Sishern, because he finished off very, very well on debut from what was a mathematical impossibility, really, turning for home. The overall race time over 5 lengths slower than average, so for him to come home as hard as he did, I was very impressed with what I saw, regardless of the fact that he went around at 25 to 1. If you consider that his trials were a fair few months between his race day debut, then he was basically first up, no trial on debut. He should only be improved for the run, and as long as Ryan Hill can keep these leaders in sight, I think he might just have a little minor class edge on them here and can get favourite punters off to a flyer in the first. Number 4, Sishern. Number 9, Molly McGee, is a mare with no doubt some ability behind the hood, but I just don't know how they're going to get the best of her. She had a one-sided winker, now a one-sided blinker. I think they're going to throw on a bubble cheeker as well in an attempt to try and get her to go straight. She's just very wayward, but the day the penny drops, she looks like she'll be winning races. Number 5, Mr. Kite, first up, no trial here. Jerry Noski from an inside draw should get a wonderful run. Number 3, Next Best, Belafonte Boy, needs the 1,400. I think there is one in about a fortnight's time for him, so we'll keep him in the black book and the back of the mind. Right, numbers in race number 1, 4, 9, 5 and 3. Race number 2 at Ascot is for the 2-year-olds at 1,100 metres. It is the Crown Perth Plate over 1,100 metres. We're going to watch the very narrow defeat on debut of Green and Shady.
Top of the mountain, peels to the outside, ranges up and goes to the favourite now, Amelia's Chant. At the 200, top of the mountain, draws away as Harvey pulls the shillelagh and bounds away from Amelia's Chant. Top of the mountain is clear. Down the outside, or Killer Green and Shady. Top of the mountain's in front. Green and Shady is cutting the margin back, diving at it all, made it awfully close. Top of the mountain.
Every time I watch that replay, it looks as though Green and Shady gets the bob in, but it was top of the mountain on the inside that scrambled home in that narrow photo. This verdigris youngster gets another really good chance to win a race at start number 2, but is just drawn a little bit awkwardly. So because I don't know where he's going to map in this field, I'm just going to push him down the order slightly. I'm going with a filly who is in that replay and that Green and Shady ran straight past. It was Simon Miller's Plunge filly and Amelia's Chant, who basically had nothing to offer on debut. She pulled William Pike's arms out. She eventually worked to find the front. I think that the word from the stable was she might have got the tongue over the bit, and then William Pike basically lost all control in the race and wasn't able to steer her at all. The blinkers come off. I'm going to forgive and forget. It'll be interesting to see whether many punters out there are forgiving, or for those that burnt their fingers on debut, whether they're going to throw her in the bin. I'm going to follow up with her here, Amelia's Chant. I think she can break through at start number 2 and might be a chance of backing up off 7 days into next weekend's Pinjarra Magic Millions. Number 5, Talk About You, who was a late scratching in that exact same race, was in the market that day and will be in the market on Saturday. Number 1, Green and Shady, with a little bit of luck can go close. And 2, Mega Reward. So it's all 4 horses coming from what was going to be the exact same contest, albeit the late scratching of Talk About You. My numbers in race 2, 8, 5, 1 and 2. Race number 3, the Glenroy Chaff Plate over 1,100 metres for 3-year-olds. And I can't wait to see this filly for the last time in Western Australia, at least for now. That's Kiss on All 4 Cheeks. This is her last start win in the Listia Stakes.
Soleil going better than it at the moment, ranged up and got on equal terms. Shantalk only a length and a half away, called upon. Down the outside is Kiss on All 4 Cheeks as Soleil gets ahead in front. Western Empire fights back, but here comes Kiss on All 4 Cheeks. Ranges up, grabs the lead, and Kiss on All 4 Cheeks has won the Listia Classic.
A listed winner, a listed place getter, a 56 plus Saturday 3-year-old winner, a 2-year-old plate winner. There's a lot here that points towards this filly Kiss on All Four Cheeks being awfully hard to beat. She gets in at set weights and penalties with 57.5 kilos, so she really does have an already big advantage over these rivals. She draws a wide gate, she is versatile. The stable are using this as basically a barrier trial, and she's going across to Victoria next week. So you would imagine that from the wide gate, Brad Parnham's probably under instructions just to ease her back in the field, which is probably not the ideal scenario for the rail at the true position and the easterly breeze that'll blow on Saturday. But this filly just oozes class, and I think even if she settles last, she can overcome it and gun them down late. She is a very, very classy filly, this resuming. Number 2, Kiss on All Four Cheeks. Number 8, Divine Beast, will last start ran second to Magical Dream, who'll probably go around an odds-on favourite in the Breeders' Classic at Bunbury on Sunday. Runs into another very nice filly here on Kiss on All Four Cheeks, bursting to win a race, this filly from Luke Fernie's yard. Number 3, All Day Session, who's been in and around the placings of recent times and reunites with Chris Parnham. Number 7, In the Boat, who went around at $1.28 on debut and toyed with them at Bunbury. This is harder, but there's big raps on him behind the scenes. My numbers in race number 3, 2, 8, 3 and 7. Race number 4, the All Flags Signs and Banners Handicap at 1400 metres. This will be a very popular replay for the punters here. Last of the line was plunged and duly saluted.
Of the line comes at Phone Me. It's Phone Me last of the line, sprinting 2 clear from Tollman, War God. They come to the 200. Phone Me last of the line. Last of the line on the outside under the vigour of Hill gets the better of Phone Me. Tollman is starting to run on, but last of the line extends, comes away, and last of the line was too good for Tollman. Third might be...
Well, after the likely leader Maginica missed away there, Ryan Hill was forced to put last of the line into the breeze, put him into the race, and then sit outside Phone Me. He went past him at the top of the home straight, and he won pretty effortlessly in a very easy watch for backers. Won by about 2 lengths ease down. This is a horse that they all believe are going to be a much better horse when able to sit in behind and chase. I think he gets that scenario here, and I see Ryan Hill sitting 1 out, 1 back, with the likely second favourite and danger in Red Publisher, who's drawn in gate 1 sitting on his inside. From then it turns into a tactical affair, but I would say that probably Ryan Hill puts him into the race before the home corner and just uses that really sustained turn of foot that he has last of the line to his advantage. I think he can make it win number 5 at only start 7 and stamp himself as a chance in a Bunbury Stakes or whichever sort of listed race they target in the near future. Number 2, Red Publisher, 7 days ago in the Australia Day Trophy, arguably should have gone very, very close to winning behind She's a Light. Held up in the home straight and he looked to have a bit to give the old boy. Number 5, Phone Me, gets a 2 kilo weight swing on last of the line, but you just wonder whether that's enough to turn the tables. Number 3, Cryptic Love, who actually beat home last of the line last start when winning at 100 to 1. The big question mark remains, can she do it again? My numbers in race number 4, 6, 2, 5 and 3. Race number 5, the C Corp Handicap at 1600 metres, a wide open 60 plus graduation. We're actually going to go to a maiden at the Provincials and watch the last start win of What About Moi.
Coming around the turn is Stella Fair. Into the straight at the 350 midnight hour, joined here on the outside by the newcomer Paddy's Art, which reached it easily. Paddy's Art hit the front a length away, guarded. Then came What About Moi, starting to finish on full of running down the outside. Paddy's Art is the leader. What About Moi is closing it down. What About Moi on the outside dived. What about...
Blackdale Rumley was able to get himself out of a bit of a trouble there and actually hit the line relatively untouched. He never really pulled the whip on What About Moi. He was responding really well to his vigorous hands and heels. Now this is a 3-year-old taking on the older horses, who comes from a 1300 metre maiden up into a mile on a Saturday. That race time, some 5 lengths slower than average. So to me that says What About Moi might just be a little bit soft in the marketplace, and if you are a fan of his, then you probably are best served just waiting a little while and seeing what price he gets to late. This is a race where you could tip 3, 4 or 5 different horses and probably still miss the winner. And I'm actually going to go deep into the Great Southern to try and find something, and that's with the top weight here, a last start winner in the Bay of Isles at Esperance with number 1 Recapitulate. 3 kilo claim for Blackdale Rumley brings him down to a winnable weight of 57 kilos. He's drawn a gate where I think he can lead here with an easterly breeze at his back, and he also has the chance here to probably lead and dictate without a whole lot of pressure. He's the winner of 3 of his last 5, and I think he can make it 4 of his last 6. He should be that $6 or $7 quote. Each way all day for the Great Southern trained horse. Number 1 for Helen Harding, that's Recapitulate. A horse that's also from the Great Southern, from Steve Wolf's yard, and actually at his most recent start did beat home Recapitulate as well. His name is Eurasia and he draws in gate number 1. Sean McGrady picks up the ride. He should be stalking the speed and he should be hard to beat. I've got the Great Southern pair on top, 1 from 7. 5-7 Old Brave, who's going to need a lot of luck from that wide gate, and then the replay horse next best down the bottom in What About Moi. My numbers in race number 5, 1, 7, 5 and 13. Race number 6 is the James Squire Handicap at 1200 metres, and watching the last start win of Excellent Dream.
Into the corner for Lion Machine, getting right up against the inside at the 275. Excellent Dream shifting ground. The leader from Mood Swings, there together clear. Over on the inside, Excellent Dream finding, getting a run. Luke's Choice towards the inside late. Excellent Dream, Mood Swings, and over on the inside, Luke's Choice, but Excellent Dream kept going by Rawilla, and Excellent Dream won it from
11 starts, 4 victories. He is a nice progressive 4-year-old, this of Lindsay Smith's. Paul Harvey picks up the ride from the injured Brad Rawilla. He's likely to come across from that wide gate in an attempt to lead them again. He does have a few horses drawn underneath him, and one of those who was in the replay was drawn outside of him last start, and his name is Mood Swings. Another progressive 4-year-old here, this one trained by George Dupre. Geordie Turner picks up the ride from his dad Troy, and I think from gate number 3, he can sit just in behind them. Keep them out early, make horses like Excellent Dream, like Agent J, like Weapon Son, who will all come out from out wide. Make them work a little bit, hold up in behind them. I think it's a nice race for him to turn the tables here. He was one of the best bets on the box seat last start. He let us down, but we're going to follow up here. I think Mood Swings is the way to go in race number 6. Number 7, Prince Devoutly. Now this was a super return to racing. It probably is a scenario where we want to back Mood Swings and save on Prince Devoutly if the prices allow. Draws the inside gate, gets the box seat run. Clearly hard to beat. Number 8, Star Glitter. Now if you're not somebody that likes those short priced favourites, or at least those horses that are in the market, I'd definitely push you towards Star Glitter. It looks to have really returned well for Neville Parnham. A win's just around the corner for this now 9-year-old. Number 1, Excellent Dream. If he finds the front, he probably is the one to beat. I just wonder whether something might kick up underneath him and just make Paul Harvey work a little bit in the middle stages. My numbers in race number 6, 9, 7, 8 and 1. Race number 7 is the feature. The Scenic Blast Stakes, a listed race at 1200 metres. Most of these horses come out of the same lead-up, the traditional lead-up, the Miss Andretti, which was won by Flirtini.
Who wheels into the home straight with Indian Pacific in pursuit. Essential Spice further back is starting to storm home right down the outside. Mervyn the leader from Indian Pacific and Essential Spice. Essential Spice went to Indian Pacific and now Caracapo. Flirtini's gathered them up quickly though. Look at Flirtini. Flirtini stormed right over the top of them. Grabbed the lead.
It's very hard to not be impressed with the way that she let down late. At the top of the home straight, you just wondered whether she was going to run that flashing 2nd, 3rd or 4th. Then all of a sudden at the 150, she just hit another gear, Flirtini, and ran past them and was actually eased down on the line very impressively. She draws another wide gate. She's probably going to have to drag back to last again. She gets the 2 kilo penalty and now she carries 60.5. Does it make her vulnerable or is she still too good? We'll find out on Saturday. But another horse that was in that replay in Caracapo, I thought was an excellent effort. Jason Brown tried to hold Indian Pacific out early, got in a bumping duel. He then tried to hold Misty Metal out 3 deep, got in a bumping duel. I thought he did a really good job in the end to still finish 2nd behind Flirtini, and with an extra 100 metres, an extra 2 kilo weight swing, I thought he was an each way bet in this race and would be disappointed if he didn't finish in and around the money. So it's number 3 for me, Caracapo. Number 1, Flirtini. If she can reproduce that run of the Miss Andretti, then clearly she's going to be very hard to beat, this mare. Number 5, Essential Spice, who's never won past 1,000 metres. But the way she's going at the moment, if she gets a soft run 3 back the fence, why couldn't she win? Number 9, Samizdat. Great to see the Ganjemi's flag bearer back to some of his brilliant best last start. He was flashing down the outside in the Amelia Park colours in the replay. My numbers in the feature, race number 7, 3, 1, 5 and 9. Race number 8 is the Amelia Park Handicap at 1,000 metres, and it was an all-the-way victory last start for Time to Sizzle.
towards the fence, followed further back by Weapon Son. Time to Sizzle though, balanced up at the 250 with a handy lead. It's Time to Sizzle by 3. Glasgow Girl Like a Jaguar starting to get busy late. Time to Sizzle in front with about 50 to go. Like a Jaguar trying to cut it down the post, looming however. Time to Sizzle fell in from Like a Jaguar.
Well, while Time to Sizzle was fending them off there in the last 50, it was a flashing run in behind them in the Amelia Park colours as well in the race that's sponsored by Amelia Park, and her name was Amelia's Contraire. Now Paul Harvey came to the outside trying to look for a run, held up badly at about the 250, came inside across heels and inside again, had to switch directions a couple of times, and I thought the last 100 metres of this mare was very, very impressive. She draws gate number 1 here, and in a high-speed 1000, provided she gets a bit of even luck, or the leaders wobble off the fence, as Time to Sizzle can do, as we saw there in the replay, then I do think that this mare is able to turn the tables, and I'm going to mark her down as the best bet on the program. Race 8, number 7, Amelia's Contraire. Number 4, Lipstick Flickers, who looks to have returned really well from an injury and forced layoff, is a month between runs, has bar plates on. It's a couple of negatives there, but Chris Parnham on. That positive does offset it to a certain extent. Number 2, Time to Sizzle, you know what you're going to get with this mare. She's high speed, Maddie Derrick will let her roll and they'll all have to run her down late. Number 12, Next Best, Nobelium, narrowly defeated down the 1000 metres straight last start, is knocking on the door and gets in with not a lot of weight. My numbers in the lucky last, 7, 4, 2 and 12. Rolling into best bets for Saturday the 30th of January 2021. We're going to have to wait until the last 2 races. In the Scenic Blast, race 7, number 3, Each Way, Caracapo. And then in the lucky last, race 8, number 7, the best, Amelia's Contraire. No racing out of Ascot next week. Wednesday off, Saturday off. Make sure you enjoy your break from the Perth racing perspective, but make sure you also get back the following week as we start to heat up for Karrakatta Plate Day.